I am unmuted. All right, so welcome. Sorry about that. I had a little tech issue. Do you ever have tech issues? Good morning from San Diego. So we're going to talk today about what I believe is one of the biggest mistakes, the number one mistakes that business owners make that cost them a fortune. And what do you think the number one business mistake is that costs business owners a fortune? Give me a little, hey, Shaf, hey there, Barefoot. What do you think the number one mistake is that costs business owners a fortune? It's around communication. It's around communication. Now, I assume, you have a website. I assume you may have landing pages. I assume you have business cards. I assume you have maybe landing pages that lead to your website. But what do you think the number one communication problem is with business owners? What do you think it is? Misunderstanding? So let me know if you can participate a little bit today. Not marketing enough? That's possibly right, Fred. But think about this. I want you, as many of you know, my specialty is the neuroscience and neuropsychology of thoughts, emotions, feelings, behaviors, and what causes you to take action or me to take action or not take action. And would you agree, just so we have a foundation of discussion, all right, that we are communicating to another human being's brain, right? I know that you're looking at my face and my smile and my teeth and my nose and my eyes and my, hair, etc. But the light that's going in through a human's eyes or the sound that's going in through somebody's ears is activating cells in their brains. Would you agree with that? Hey, Thomas from Sweden, would you agree with that? So when you and I are communicating, whether it's on our website, whether it's on a landing page, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's on social media, if we are communicating, do you think it would make sense to understand what kind of information and delivered how? What kind of information delivered how activates somebody's, number one, awareness, activates somebody's trust center, activates somebody's maybe fear or uncertainty center when you want to do that? Do you think that if we are communicating with another human being or a group of human beings, understanding the right way to communicate at the right time is critical? So what if I shared with you that all incoming information is processed against a hierarchy of priority? All incoming information that somebody reads, listens to, or watches is processed with a hierarchy of how that information is processed. So what if, for example, your website, somebody has a website. Do you have a website? If you have a website, type in, John, I have a website. I just want to know how many of you have a website. So I'll give you a fundamental issue. Hey there, Tyler Moore. Do you have a website? All right. So I'm talking about the number one business mistake that maybe cost you thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So do you have a website? And it's not all about NLP. All right. So, but if you had a website, imagine that there's a prospect. Okay. Hey, Carrie. And imagine that prospect is looking for a solution to either a problem they have. Hi there, Michael Cole. That prospect is looking for an answer to their question. That prospect is looking for information that will help them with whatever it is that they need to get help with. Now, I'm just talking about websites just as an example right now. So imagine that they are searching the internet and they go to your website and they're looking for a solution to a problem or a solution to an opportunity. And imagine your website talks about you first. Imagine your website talks about you first. Hey, welcome to my website. I'm so-and-so. Here's what I do. And then there's a pop-up that comes up and says, do you want to sign up for my newsletter? I want you to understand something. When somebody is searching for a solution to either a problem or a solution to an opportunity, your message has got to meet 100% their expectation in less than 1 second. Less than 1 second. Right now, the amount of attention that people have is very, very minimal. Would you agree? So if your website, if your landing page, if your brochure doesn't address the very, very specific need that they have, they leave, and that's called a bounce. So the number one business mistake that I see amongst tens of thousands of business owners that I've worked with and looking at thousands of websites is there's a miscommunication between what it is that you do, your product or service, and what and how it helps the prospect who doesn't yet know you, trust you, or love you. And you're talking about yourself instead of a solution to their problem. So what if you started thinking the way that we process information? If you've just joined us, I'm talking about communication. If you're a business owner, your job is to communicate as effectively as possible so people will know that they're in the right place. Would you agree with that? Like if I was talking right now about diamonds, okay, you'd go, what the hell is he talking about diamonds for? John Assaraf never talks about diamonds. I have no interest in diamonds unless you had interest in diamonds. So when you are communicating face-to-face, on Zoom, on the telephone, on your website, everywhere, you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. I'm going to give you the questions. Does this make sense? Do you like this? If you like this, give me a couple of likes and loves on my Instagram and give me a couple of comments. All right, in our other social media or on our other social media channel. Thank you, Ursula and Angela and Andrea. Let's put some of these people up there if we can. So here is something that many business owners make a big, huge mistake with, is they make their websites, their copy, and their dialogues about them. And all of your content, copy, information, brochures, bullet points needs to be about the prospect. Hey there, F-Man. Needs to be about the prospect and the benefit to them. And before you get into the benefit, okay, you have to identify what is the biggest problem that your product or service solves. What is the biggest fear that your product or service helps eliminate? What's the biggest frustration point that your prospect is having, okay, that your product or service helps? What is the biggest irritation? What is the biggest worry? What's the biggest doubt? What's the biggest anxiety-laden problem, okay, that your product or service helps people with? Then what are the, does your product or service help them achieve their goals faster? How does your product or service help them achieve the lifestyle that they want? How does your product or service help them move away from what they don't want and move towards what they do want? This is marketing 101. And when we're dealing with marketing 101, we are starting to understand the neuromarketing. What is neuromarketing? What is neurosales? Neuromarketing and neurosales, which I teach all of my students, is how do you activate, first and foremost, the awareness part of somebody's brain so that they pay attention to you. Next, how do you connect with what it is that they What is their biggest pains, fears, frustrations, irritations, wants, needs, and aspirations? And I write these things down and I ask myself, and then you put it in the right order so their brain, which is looking for anything around safety and security first, avoidance of pain second, energy conservation third, before we get into achievement of reward or gain. That's the hierarchy of how somebody's brain works. And if you are putting the wrong messages on your websites, if you're saying the wrong things in your communication on any platform, live or written, then you're sending information into another human's brain in the wrong syntax. Does that make sense? So the essence of neuromarketing and neurosales is to create communication across all of your mediums, whether it's social media, website, brochures, radio, television, YouTube, anything that you are creating. You should be creating it based on the natural way that somebody's brain processes information and then either moves forward towards what you have or moves away. Now, does this make sense? Does this make sense? All of your marketing, all of your selling needs to move people more towards you and not away from you, saying, this isn't for me. Okay? So when we're dealing with the number one business mistake that's costing you thousands, maybe tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, you have to create communication in the right syntax or order, right? Imagine this. Imagine that you have the combination to a safe, all right? But you don't have the combination in the right order. Right? You have the combination, you have the right combination in the safe is $1 million, but you don't have the information in the right order. Do you think it might be very hard to open up the safe? So does syntax matter? Does the order, okay, of what you do and what numbers you put in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, do you think the order matters? Of course the order matters. You know, I've often shared a little story, okay? I want you to imagine that you're single. And I want you to imagine that you walk into a restaurant or a bar or even a party that a friend is having. And you see somebody across the room and your eyes and their eyes lock. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man, but you're single and you see somebody and your eyes lock. Imagine that person, all right, walks towards you and your eyes lock and your heartbeat is starting to pound a little more. They're coming towards you. They smile, you smile, and it's getting a little bit more exciting. And the anticipation is building. The anticipation is building. They come right up to you and they go, do you want to get married? Wouldn't that just ruin the syntax and the order, instead of them just coming up to you and going, hi, my name is John. What's your name? So in communication, order matters. In communication, order matters. So if somebody's coming to your website and your website's about you, and Fezakana, do me a favor and stop putting stupid messages up there. Is the order of what you say important? Is how you say it important? Of course it is. So a little tip for your website is ask yourself, how can I connect? All right. How can I connect with people, okay, as soon as they come to my website with a headline about exactly what it is that I help them with? All right. World-class diamonds at the lowest possible price. Boom, I'm in the right place. Eliminate your fear of failure in 1 hour or less. Boom, I'm in the right place if you help people with fear. right? So understand that don't just have verbal diarrhea when you're talking to people without understanding their pains, fears, frustrations, irritations, wants, needs, and aspirations. Don't just put stuff on a website or landing page or ad, all right, that sounds good. Ask yourself, is this the most important thing to my prospect? Not your clients, to my prospect. And if you don't know what is the most important thing to your prospect, what are the things that is most important to her or to him, then you need to step back and take a little bit of time to understand your marketing. Your marketing is a salesperson in print. Your marketing is a salesperson on TV or on radio. So if you're doing any marketing, advertising, videos, instructional, websites, landing pages, anything that you need, you have to create the marketing that's going to match with people's brain. And the brain, as I mentioned, has a hierarchy of how this works. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now, many of you know that part of what I've been doing for the last week, I've been on live every day for about 5 or 6 days for about 30 minutes. I do about 15, 20 minutes worth of content, then I take some questions. So if you have a question, type in your question. My team will take it and put it on a document that I'm looking at on my computer right now. But I also want to let you know we are 2 days away from my 5-day business breakthrough challenge. And I am doing a business breakthrough challenge to help small business owners who want to get from startup to their first $50,000 or $100,000 a year, or 100 to 250, 250 to 500, 500 to a million to 3 million, or 5 million. And I'm going to be doing some training, live training for 90 minutes a day if you're part of the general admission, and 3.5 hours a day for 5 days to teach you everything you need to know on getting your own mindset right and developing the framework so your own brain helps you get and stay motivated and inspired. But more importantly, or just as important, I'm going to show you exactly how to build your business so that you have a flow of leads, a way to qualify them, a way to make more sales, and a way to nurture people over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, so you build your brand and people buy from you. Now, many of you have already signed up for the Business Breakthrough Challenge. As I mentioned, in the last several days, it's $47 if you want to do the general admission, or $144 US if you want to do the VIP, which includes an extra two hours a day of live Q&A answering with me. Q&A answering with me on Zoom. So if you click on the link that's in my bio, or in a link that my my team is putting in the chat, you can get all of the information. We have a number of spots left for VIP and a number of spots left for general admission. So if you want me to teach you how to grow your business methodically, organized, based on neuromarketing and neuro sales principles, where you generate more leads and make more sales, and you build your brand, and you create predictability, then I highly recommend that you join us. We have a private community already set up, and we only have 48 hours before we actually do it live every single day for 5 days. Okay, it's a business breakthrough challenge, and it is it'll blow your mind if you have a business and you're serious. This is not for you if your business is a hobby, unless you're serious. But if you really want to build your business and make an extra $1,000 or $10,000 or $50,000 a month, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so let me shift over to the Q&A. So Supriya Bhatia, hello Supriya, and you've already signed up for the program, right? And you are a doctor, specifically a dentist, if my memory serves me correctly. All right, so how much do Google Ads leverage the sale for a dental practice if the SEO for the website is already well done? Spectacularly if you do it right, Supriya. So I've helped 2 dental practices grow in the last couple of years from about $30,000 to $50,000 a month to $250,000 a month using Google Ads. So a lot if you know what you're doing. So that was for you, Supriya. Lucija Sesnick, I'd like to start my own business, but I'm scared that I won't succeed. What should I do? Being scared that you won't succeed is normal. Hey there, Daniel James. Whenever we want to do something, pay close attention. And on day one, we're going to be talking about how do you master your own mindset. Whenever we want to do something or achieve something that we haven't yet achieved, or we don't have the knowledge or the skills, our brain's amygdala fires off, a signal saying, hey, there is some potential danger here. You might fail, you might lose money, you might be embarrassed, you might be ashamed, you might be ridiculed, you might waste your time, you might be disappointed. And so Lucija, I think it's Lucija, is how it's spelled. Your brain is doing exactly what it needs to do to make you safe and to go back into your safety zone. So the first thing you need to do is learn how to manage the emotion of fear. I will show you how to do that in the class that we're doing, the Business Breakthrough Challenge. But then the next thing is you have to learn, what should you be doing? And once you raise your level of awareness and your skill, the fear center doesn't activate as quickly. So now if you learn how to manage fear and you learn what to do, so you have more confidence and more certainty, you have more reason to take inspired action out of certainty. In the absence of certainty, we have doubt. When we have doubt, guess what happens? The fear trigger in our brain activates and it puts the brakes on our motivation. So that's how that works. Imran, how much rest brain need to perform at its best potential? The reason that all the latest research shows that you should rest between 6 to 8 hours a day at nighttime is not only to use the circadian rhythm of the earth and the natural way that our brain cycles, but it also gives your brain a chance to rest. So 6 to 8 hours a night is the recommended amount. Zaka on YouTube. Hey, Zaka, what is one thing or rule to keep success in mind for business? Every day, prime your brain with the vision and the goals and why you want to achieve those goals. So every morning, look at your goals. Every morning, look at your plans. Every morning, give yourself a boost of why am I doing this? And that keeps the motivational circuit active. All right, Lucija, you are welcome. Adam Powell. Is it better to provide that information to the consumer with words or pictures? The answer is both, Adam. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. All right. So if you are able to create pictures that connect with people's emotional brain, that's a great way to do it. Michael Cole, how important is social proof? Critical. So let me give you an example. For those of you that have already signed up for the Business Breakthrough Challenge, and you've already received some benefit in the community we set up, even though we haven't started yet, or you've done the Business Breakthrough Challenge the last time, you're doing it again, type in just a little message for all the other people that are thinking about doing it, right? So watch this, Michael. Instagram, hey there, Gabriella. What is the order of choice of media and channels? Gabrielle, that's a loaded question. And I'll tell you why. What's the order of choice? Who's your ideal client? Where are they? What's your budget? How much knowledge and skills do you have to use the different mediums? So you can't just say what is the order of choice. The order of choice should be based on what you can get done in the time frame that you have with your budget. So that's the order of choice. So there are plenty of clients on all the platforms. All right, Gabriella? Pascal Drexel. All right, I'm not going to answer your question about how do you choose the right wife. IG, see the light. Can you repeat the proper syntax order when you get a chance, please? The right syntax order for what? So I've given you a bunch of different syntaxes. All right, hey, F-Man. What do we do when a client delays the meeting for an important proposal? Number one is discover why they're delaying the meeting. Set time frames to let them know that you're going out of town or you have other meetings. You have to try and create urgency and scarcity. And if somebody's doing it to avoid pain, it's easy. But in your particular case, since you're a world-renowned artist, I've seen your work, they're actually moving towards having something, right? And so the way you do some urgency and scarcity is you can say, hey, we need to meet on this date because I have another client who wants me to start working on a project. And if you say no or your time frame is off, then I can take on their business. You create a little bit of urgency and scarcity if they want to work with you. Gabriella, do neuromarketing strategies change according to the target niche? No, neuromarketing strategies do not change according to the target niche. Neuromarketing strategies are how do you penetrate a human being's brain at deeper levels so they pay attention to you and then they follow through in a sequential order. So that's that. Corinne Breed. By the way, this afternoon, give me one second. Andrea, what time are we doing another session this afternoon where I'm taking live people? Noon. At 12 o'clock today? At 12 o'clock today, which is in about 2.5 hours, I'm going to go live where? On Instagram. I'm going to go live, just so you all know, on Instagram. I'm going to choose some people on Instagram to go live with me on video. I'm going to do some rapid fire consulting. So that's in 2.5 hours at 12 o'clock noon San Diego, 3 o'clock New York, which is 8 o'clock in London, okay? I'm going to go live on Instagram only at 12 o'clock noon today, PST. I'm sorry, 12 o'clock PST, 3 o'clock EST, and then 8 o'clock in London. I'm going to take a few people from the audience and do some rapid fire consulting. So Karen Breed, what do you suggest we do the last hour of the day? Wind down, reflect, see what works, be in a state of gratitude, start planning for the next day. You're welcome, Zaka. All right. Lingua, can we find our clients on TikTok? The answer is yes. I am actually just getting ready to start doing stuff on TikTok. By the way, I don't know how many of you are on Clubhouse. Anybody here have Clubhouse? I just started a group called the Inner Game Club, the Inner Game Club on Clubhouse. So go and follow me on Clubhouse, and I'll be doing a weekly show there starting Monday the 26th. Go to the Inner Game Club on Clubhouse. Okay, I've got 2 more questions I can answer. You're Abdul-Zain, how do you build a company from scratch? The same way you build a house from scratch. You start off with the architect of what it looks like upon completion, and then you set goals, and then you develop the strategies, tactics, tools, timelines, and resources to achieve it, okay? So that is our last question. That was 14 rapid fire questions. So my team's putting up a link for you. How many of you want to learn how to grow a business faster and easier than ever before? I want you to think about this question. Let's say you have a business, okay? Let's say you have a business. Would you agree that your business has certain potential? Is the potential for your business an extra $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 per month or per year? All right. Is there a gap between where you are and where your business can be? Is there a gap between where you are and where your business can be? Think about this for just a moment. Is this a true statement? The gap, let's say you can make an extra $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month or $100,000 a month. Let's say you can make an extra $100,000 a year. What you don't know and what you're not doing is costing you that gap. I invite you to bridge the gap. I will show you exactly everything you need to build your business so that you have a flow of leads that are qualified, that generate a consistent stream of revenues and profits. I've built 5 of my own multi-million-dollar companies. I have shown over 10,000 business owners over the last 10 years how to build their companies. And if you want to learn from me, maybe you do, maybe you don't, then I can help you bridge that gap so that your business actually is an asset that works for you instead of you working the asset. So, Carrie, I don't have time to go through the business puzzle explained. It takes a little bit of time. So there's a link up in my bio on Instagram on the link tree. There's a link that my team is putting on the social media channels that I'm on this view here. And I've got to hop off right now. Click on the link, get started. $47 for your general admission, $145 for your VIP experience. I'll give you the blueprints. I'll give you the PowerPoints. If you're a VIP, you'll have workbooks every single day, a little bit of homework every day, a community to help lift you up so that you are moving forward and bridging that gap. All right. So invest in yourself. I'll teach you what I've learned about building companies. And thank you, Janine Smith. Love to have you as a member of NeuroGym and our trainings as well. All right, so have a great day. I appreciate you. I'll be back on Instagram only at 12 o'clock, and I'll take a few people out of the audience, and I'll do consulting for you for free, 5 or 6 minute, 7-minute segments. I'll take a bunch of people then. All right, so hop on Instagram at 12 o'clock San Diego time, 3 o'clock New York time, or 8 o'clock London time. If you enjoyed this, share this. Would appreciate it. And I'll see you later. And I'll also see many of you in the Business Breakthrough Challenge. All right. Have an awesome day. Thank you.